So day one of my, what I intend to be a 3-day fast, is over. And it's early. It's about not even 1 a.m., which is really, really early for me. Hopefully it will set a precedent. I like to be in bed, even earlier than this, but baby steps, I shut my computer off at 11. Went and watched the news. Channel 5 is what I watch. A guy on there, I forget his name, apparently last year he predicted that we would have just this horrendous winter here in Massachusetts, and that's exactly what happened. So this year, I don't know, I told you, the woman who takes care of Angel, the woman who did my hair, really liked her, by the way. She was someone new, different place that I tried out. And a neighbor, all said, they'd heard we're supposed to have a horrible, horrible winter, Farmer's Almanac and all that crap. But the news was saying saying different things that predicted are saying a mild winter because of an El Nino storm or something or other shit. But this particular guy he's looking at other factors as well, and he says, no, it's not going to be as bad as last year, but it's supposed to be still bad. He predicted, I think, last year here, Boston got 110 inches. And as most of you probably know, maybe not everybody, but a lot of you might know, maybe. And again, maybe not. It's not like I know everything about everyone else's weather. You probably don't know. But anyway, we had a record-breaking. Here in Boston, we had a record-breaking winter. But up until, it was like we got no snow and then got bombarded the rest of the winter. We'd only had 5 inches up until January, something like that, and then we got killed. The guy that predicted last year's, horrendous winter is saying not as bad this year, but still pretty bad. He's predicting 62 inches of snow. Okay. So I watched the news, and then I watched Jimmy Kimmel, and I saw that Fall Out Boy was going to be on Jimmy Kimmel, and I wanted to see Fall Out. I like Fall Out Boy. I used to listen to, it's still on my MP3 player, I Don't Care, that song I Don't Care by Fall Out Boy. I loved that song. I used to listen to that all the time in LA when I was out power walking. It was one of my go-to songs that I would listen to, repeatedly. But I think it's the only song I know of theirs. And I was watching Jimmy Kimmel, and then I was getting bored. Kristen Ritter was on, and I was getting bored. She's on some Netflix Marvel comic show or something. I watched the Captain America with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., but I didn't really feel like listening to Kristen Ritter, so I flipped channels, went to HBO, and lo and behold, what do you think's on again? It's going to be, I'm sure I'm going to find it all the time, 50 Shades Grey. So of course I had to sit there and watch that for a while, and then, but I just wanted to see if there were any sex scenes, but no, I got it when there weren't any sex scenes, when she was visiting her mom, and then he shows up, and then he's going to take her flying or something, so that bored me. So I went back to Jimmy Kimmel right at the end and caught the tail end of Fall Out Boy's song. Something about dance like Uma Thurman. It's kind of strange. Uma Thurman's an actress, and I don't really know her as being somebody you'd think, not like Betty Davis' eyes or something, It's got Betty Davis' eyes, I don't know, but whatever. It's kind of an interesting song, and I'm pissed I missed it. Anyway, I I basically forgot from the time that Jimmy Kimmel started. I wanted to see Fall Out Boy at the end. Totally forgot, and then got, caught up in 50 Shades of Grey. But I've seen the movie 4 times now, and all I wanted to see was if I got it in the middle of like some really good sex scene, and no, so I switched it back to Jimmy Kimmel. But it was too late. Actually, I think I might have remembered. Oh, wait a minute! I wanted to see Fall Out Boy and Jimmy Kimmel, but it was too late. I might have caught like the last tiny bit of the song. But I can look it up. I'm sure I can probably watch it on YouTube. Probably will be on YouTube. Fall Out Boy is on Jimmy Kimmel. Apparently they won at the American Music Awards this past Sunday night. I didn't watch it. I was looking forward to watching it. I was excited to watch it. Hoping that who wouldn't be on it, because you never know. And I have every right to say that, because Donald and Hope, and this was after they knew everything, and it was so humiliating, and something that, Donald flicked channels, we didn't know what was going on, and of course I'm sitting there with Donald and Hope, and that thing that Nickelback was on a few years ago came on, and I was not happy. And then I went upstairs to the bathroom and sat there and just stayed in the bathroom for a while until he wasn't on anymore. Of course, Donald, I know what they're thinking, and then I was like, oh fuck, please no, like, oh, Nickelback's on, yeah, I'll go to the upstairs bathroom and go like that for a few minutes. They were on some show. They were on something about troops or something, I don't know. No one intended to watch it. Donald was just channel surfing, and of course, it just because I'm in hell, it comes on at that exact moment. And no way was I going to sit there and watch that with them. I went upstairs, and I went in the bathroom, and so I couldn't hear anything. I just blocked my ears for, because it's only going to, I'm sure this would be one song. I like to do that for a few minutes until it's over. But anyway, I was planning on watching the American Music Awards, and then, wound up getting all upset over the betrayal of my so-called people who've been my, in quotation, friends, pseudo-friends, whatever, because as much as you could be on the internet. So I thought, for months. And my mom's like, you going to watch the American? No, I don't want to do anything. Sit here and sulk. Oh well. One of my enemies, who I had to get C to understand, because I forward all these things to her, that they're all the same person, I'm sure. Because she's like, what about that Uncle David guy? What about the guy with the bucket of chicken on his head? No, they're all the same person. I think they're all the same. Or there could be more than one of my enemies, just, the writing seems about the same. But that's not necessarily an indication that it's the same person. Because sometimes the comments have been a little different. It could be someone sharing accounts, But anyway, one of the things that of course, because my enemy's going to jump at anything, one of the things my enemy said was, because I think I said one time out here, that people are going to put me down for every little thing, or grab at every little thing and have it be an indication of whatever, that I'm crazy. Or I said, I think it was a Muse song. I said, oh, that song by Muse resonates with me. And of course my enemy is like, oh, you think that song was written for, oh my God, okay? It's only Chad. And it wasn't because it had, and I might as well say this because new people come to my channel and don't know, you know, or they ask me questions. Or even when I read, you know, Bucket, Punch Marketing shared that Kiwi Farms thing, the old thread from 2013 with me. I'd seen it before, okay? And people will say stuff like, oh, why didn't this woman pick somebody better? Or things like Nickelback ruined all of our lives. Or, you know, I've seen that, you know, people get hung up with a celebrity, like a celebrity smiles at them or touches their hand. Had nothing to do with any of that. Had nothing to do with him, okay? Had to do solely with Dark Horse, that album, and my belief that Chad Kroeger had been one of my 2001 Earth Cam TV Alicia's World fans and had read my news, where I talked all about my life, just like I talk about all, you know, very intimate details of my life out on YouTube. I did the same thing out on Alicia's World, you know, just in writing. That was it. That was it in a nutshell, people. Had nothing to do with me, where they say, like, you know, and like I said, the problem was that even though it wasn't likely, it wasn't impossible. It could have been true. The problem was that instead of me thinking, oh, well, it might be true, I went completely nuts, bonkers, and was positive it was true, 100% believed it. Okay, that's it. Had nothing to do with you know, with me, you know, again, it had nothing to do with what people think. Like, some people, right, like, oh, we've heard this before, like a celebrity touches their hand and they start fantasizing. No. Had nothing to do with anything except the songs on Dark Horse and the fact that I was, you know, known all over the world for my Alicia's, you know, in that little niche of the Alicia's World Earth Cam TV channel. I was, you know, I was a very popular Earth Cam TV channel, to put it that way. It went out all over the world. And that was it. That's where this whole thing. But again, the problem was that I went completely nuts. And instead of thinking, oh, that might be true, those songs are similar. Maybe he was. It's possible. He's a man. He is a human being. He could have watched my channel. In 2001, I went nuts and 100% believed it was true. That was the problem. And you guys don't have to believe me because I can't prove it. Never in my life had I ever gone that nuts. Ever. And hopefully, you know, it won't ever happen again. Never. I had never gone to that degree. No. Not to that degree, ever. Again, I can't prove it. You know what I mean? I can't prove it. I can't prove I've never been locked up in a mental hospital. I can't prove that the Chad Kroeger Nickelback thing was the first time I ever went that nuts. Okay? And I have to say that nuts because when I was in my 20s, and that was the prelude to my mom trying to hurt me when she had never tried to hurt me before. But me and her and Sally, my friend, had gone out to this restaurant dance place, and my mom was acting crazy, and I know all the signs, and she was, you know, she was, you know, getting jealous of me, and there was this guy that I was talking to that I don't know if he liked me or not, but I'm in my 20s, you know what I mean? She's in her 40s, and but whatever, she was like started hanging all over. She was doing all kinds of shit, and I knew she was getting sick again, and she was acting up and embarrassing me, and I was shit-faced, and I wound up like just wanting to get away from her and running, and I wound up falling over a cliff and then begging the staff at this restaurant, dance bar, whatever, to kill me. So they called the ambulance on me, spent the night, you know. First had to hear psychologists, psychiatrists, whatever, asking me the dumbass questions because I'm not stupid. I have problems, I'm not stupid. And, you know, asking me stupid shit and just, you know, whatever. I spent the night and I was released the next day. Okay? But I wasn't even held for 3 days. I was released the next day. You know? And I thought they always hold you for 3 days. They realized, I guess, that I was smart, that I was doing this when I was drunk, and that it was my mother, that my schizophrenic mother, that had upset me. But, or maybe they only hold you 3 days if you attempt suicide. No, but I was told before by therapists at the welfare office and whatnot, if you, oh no, you have to say you're going to kill yourself, which I was just begging people to kill me, and I guess it wasn't enough to hold me for the 3 days. Okay? But that wasn't even remotely crazy in the way that I went crazy in 2009. You guys didn't know about it until 2010 when I found out it was all, you know. But even then, it was crazy. Even then, I still believed, and then just believed that he had fucked with me instead. Oh my God. Alright? But that's the deal. It has nothing to do with that, you know, I didn't pick him. Because people will say, I read it, and they'll be like, well, you know, if she's going to think a star's in love with her or something, why did she pick someone better than Chad Kruger or this or whatever? I didn't pick him. His songs picked me. I mean, in my crazy brain, you get it? I didn't pick him. And if I was going to go and do that, I would have picked somebody, because the blonde and blue is not my physical, you know, that's never the one I've been attracted to. I've always been attracted to the dark-haired guys, you know. Blonde and blue is like me. Even when I showed the Playboy that I showed before you guys, when I showed it to Hope, and sat there, of course, Hope and Donald knew all about, you know, my fantasy, my sanity, whatever, you know. Because I was telling everyone that it was true. It was sickening. Like I said. And be glad, whoever you are, that you don't have to live with that for the rest of your life, okay? But anyway, I showed Hope a picture of him, and she goes, oh, he looks like you. You know what I mean? He's not, you know, if I was going to just pick somebody, I wouldn't have picked him based on physical, because that's not you know, I didn't pick him. His songs picked me. The fact that you know, it all tied in, because Nickelback had been my favorite band long before I even knew what Chad looked like. Before I went nuts in 2009, I did find out what Chad looked like, but I've told that story before. It was just by chance. I just had always loved the songs. I never knew what anybody looked like who sang, you know. Obviously, I did know some people, because, you know, I know them from award shows or whatnot. Yeah, but no, I didn't ever know what he looked like. And when I found out, you know, I wasn't, you know, I was like, oh, lead singer Nickelback's kind of cute, you know. But I wasn't, like, blown away. It didn't matter, because it was the whole combination. And once my fantasy started in 2009, I was lusting after him, you know. Because then I started watching videos, like, you know, sexy ones, like, think of it now. God, I can't think of this song. Yeah, I could think of all the lyrics and not the, you know, the one I like your pants around your feet, whatever. But see, I don't listen to these songs. I can't think. So I'm fasting for 3 days. So I'm going to try to fast for 3 days. That will include Thanksgiving, but she's going to Auntie's and I'm not going. My therapist says I don't have to feel bad for not attending family things. My therapist says it's totally understandable that it makes me uncomfortable. I did give her a little, whatever you call it, a little bit of hope, and I said maybe next year I will, Mama. Maybe next year. Maybe just one of them. Maybe the one where it's not on Christmas, but we had every single year since I was a little girl. Not on Christmas, but on near Christmas for, my mom, our side of the family, mom's side of the family. Maybe next year I would go to that, see the children of my cousins, of the, dead aunt and whatnot. I mean, I saw them all at the funeral, the funeral where there was a whole big spread and whatnot. It was held in a hall or restaurant, or whatever it was held. It was held like in a hall. I don't know, but it was a lot of people. But the kids are all running around and whatnot, so I did see them, but it wouldn't be the same as, if I had a family thing where it's more condensed, I would really get to see who they are and whatnot. That was the first time that I think I'd ever, except in pictures, I met in person my cousin's daughter that wasn't supposed to be. Her husband had a vasectomy, so this was one that they hadn't planned on having any more kids, Vasectomies don't always work. Birth control doesn't always work. Nothing is 100%. Of course, they welcomed their daughter with open arms, you know what I mean? It was a God's gift. They're super religious, so it was meant to be, She's adorable. Oh my cousins are adorable. Whatever you call it. You kids, you teach them that it's just cousin, but actually, any children of my cousins are, I guess, are considered first cousins once removed or some such stupid shit, which you don't want to teach a kid. So, to kids, we're just cousins, no matter how many there are, you know what I mean? So, the children of my dead aunt are my cousins, and their children are also my cousins. But there is actually a technical term for it. I think it's first cousin once removed or some such shit. I don't know. Have never and likely will never. There's no way I will ever. My mom did. My aunt did before she died. Auntie that's alive. They all did. They all met. But when they came to visit, I wasn't gonna, I was in the shelter and I was no way. I wasn't gonna see anybody or anything. I wasn't gonna meet anybody. No way. Remember, Auntie was my enemy at the time. I was the black sheep. There's no way I was gonna frickin'. But anyway, they got to meet the out of state, the one that cousin, her kids, and it's like I'll never meet the children of other cousins. But remember, on my dad's side, there's probably all kinds of family I'll never meet, you know? My dad's brother had a daughter who's probably might have had kids by now. Who knows? You know, there's all kinds of whatever. So yeah, I figured I'd keep it real simple and just, for the record, the Chad Kroeger thing was not a case with what people often think of when people go nuts and believe a celebrity likes them or loves them or whatnot, where I ever met him in person or he touched my hand or smiled at me. No. His songs picked me. I did not pick him. And none of it would have ever happened had I not, had a very popular scam TV channel. The first 5 months of 2001, okay, which was actually prior to when Chad became, quote, famous, unquote, and his band, whatever, but I only had that for the, January to May of 2001. So for the record, that's the deal. That is the deal. Fasted, I did 16 ounces of prune juice yesterday morning. And then only Wawa the rest of the day. Today, since it's now, the next day, I'll be doing that apple juice prune, and Thursday as well. And I haven't contacted Book Guy. Like I said, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. He still seems to be interested. Because just a few days ago or something like that, But this is Thanksgiving week anyway, so I'm not doing anything. Most people are. And then there's Black Friday. What are you planning on doing on Black Friday, Laura? Who knows? Who knows? I definitely plan on chowing down on the food my mama will bring me. Because remember, I can have anything. I won't have gravy, because homemade gravy is made with the turkey juices, right? But, and maybe I will splurge and have gravy. Told you I got drunk one night and I broke my, I hadn't touched meat in over a year, and I chowed down on a chicken thigh at the refrigerator like an animal. Unfortunately, my mom had the leftover chicken thighs in there. Only just one. I'm sure I would have eaten if there'd been more. I don't know. I think another night I did too. When I came home shit-faced from the karaoke bar or whatnot, I ate some meat my mom had. But see, I have excuse that I was drunk. If I go and be totally sober and have a turkey gravy on my, Yeah, I won't. I don't need fucking gravy. I bought organic cranberry sauce at the grocery store. I don't need to have gravy. I don't know if Auntie puts meat in her stuffing, sausage or something, I won't have the stuffing either. But I can have some potatoes and vegetables and dessert. That's what I care about the most, the dessert. I don't know what time my mama will be home, but she knows if I'll be fasting and I won't eat my stuff till Friday. It's the dessert I want the most, that woman that lived, the woman that became somewhat of a friend to me, the really devout, religious Christian woman who I can't be friends with someone like that, but she was nice. I remember she took me to the grocery store. She drove me home from the library. But she came over with a nice, she knew I didn't eat meat, and she had, Thanksgiving. Was it Thanksgiving? Maybe it was Christmas. No, I guess it was Christmas because she even got me a gift. She came over with some nice homemade food. It was good. Some dessert, potatoes, vegetables, mashed potatoes. And just, no gravy. No gravy and no meat. It was nice of her to do that. I mean, it's just like my mom, that church woman, so nice, but I can't, it's just be impossible, right, for me to be real friends with anyone who's that devout Christian, the whole heaven, hell thing, the whole God's the only way, and, and this, that, whatever. I had friends like that in college, and it drove me nuts, and, they talk about hell, and then, you don't want to go there, it's a bad place, and, now this Christian woman, you know what she believes, but she didn't talk about hell, she just talked about how, if you just pray, everything will be fine, God's the only way, etc., etc. The guy who did my door, a guy from my mom's church. Remember, my mom's church, one of those really, really, devout. The guy who did my door, put him in the door, whatnot, but, we got along because, I even told him, the reason you and I get along, you can joke and laugh, etc., is because you don't try to shove your religion and whatnot down my throat. He's like, yeah, I don't believe in doing that. It was cool. He pissed me off in the end. I'll ask my therapist sometime because I really want to know, what do you think? Was I wrong to get upset with him? Well, Laura, those are your feelings, and I really don't like to answer those kind of questions. I'm not sure. What do you think about this whole situation I've told you regarding everything with my family and the POA and auntie and whatnot, and, she's not going to go there. I don't blame her. I'll end with this. She doesn't know about YouTube, because I don't want to tell her. If she found out accidentally, which could happen, stranger things have happened than that, that'd be one thing, but I'm not telling her. I don't want to. I don't want to tell her. I don't want to talk about the Jack Nickelback thing with any therapist. I don't want to. Because one of my friends was recommended that I do that. I don't want to. It's over. You know what I mean? It's over. I'm over it. And what I choose to believe regarding it is my business, because, the bottom line is it doesn't matter, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It matters in that I wish it had never happened. I wish it, wish I could just go back in time and make it have never happened. That matters, because it sucks. It's a stigma on my head. It's just a slap in the face, a reminder of all my broken dreams, and etc., etc. But, the way it goes. That's the way it goes. Like I said, I could easily not be here right now. in which case that wouldn't matter either. Or worse, in my eyes, the night Donald did the unthinkable to me, something really, really bad could have happened to me. You know, permanent physical damage instead of just permanent psychological damage. Invisible scars. Visible scars, baby. Lots and lots and lots of we human beings have them. Invisible scars. Joe suffered from depression when I met him. Severe depression. He used to say, you know, he wished that something was wrong with him because nobody, you know, he wished he had something physically wrong with him that people could see, because nobody can see depression, you know. I'm sure Joe's not the only one that's ever wished that. Because then you can, you know, it's like, that's a proof, you know, if you're crippled, if you have something, or whatever. He did, he used to say that, he wished that there was something physically wrong with him. Because no one recognizes, you can't see something as severe as depression. See, I've always had low-grade depression. Low-grade depression, you know, is not, you just can't function and you're thinking about suicide all the time, and no. Low-grade is just like a constant thing that's just there, you know. But severe depression is something very, very different.